You take a look at what the market thinks, and it's not good. Meta shares currently off by more than 12% after hours. What do you think is the big worry right now? Is it that revenue outlook, or is it that big increase, of course, to CapEx and to expenditures?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think first off, the actual quarter looked pretty good, in my view. I mean, you kind of look at the top line growing about 20, north of 27%. That's a good number for them. They're probably going to be, when you kind of look at the rest of the kind of competitors out there, they're probably by far going to outgrow everybody else on the digital ad side of things. But when you kind of look at the guide here for Q2 on the revenue side of things, definitely a little bit of a disappointment, but we do think the bigger disappointment is really on the OpEx numbers. When you look at Meta and why they've been able to kind of see the momentum they've been able to see here over the last 5 to 6 quarters, a big reason for it has really kind of been able to keep those cost controls really tight as they've seen an acceleration on the top line. Everybody already knew that growth was going to start to decelerate as we progress through into Q2 and more importantly the second half of the year on some of those more difficult comps. But the expectation, I think, from most was that they were going to keep those costs in check. And the fact that we're actually not seeing that, I think, is definitely spooking a lot of investors out there.
Angela, it sounds like what you're saying is that the year of efficiency is over and that apparently traders don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go as far as that. I mean, it's definitely a disappointment, I think, for traders out there. And it is definitely an end of an era in terms of kind of those cost controls that we've seen from the company. And the question now is, what is the company going to say on the call as far as the expectations going into not only into the second half of the year, but more into 2025? What kind of commentary do they throw out there? Do they alleviate some of the concerns that we're seeing right now or not?
I am curious. I mean, I know there's a big focus on the costs and obviously the amount of CapEx and spending that they're going to do on AI. But just talk a little bit about their traditional business, which is still just this defiant cash cow, the advertising business. We're in an election year already, which typically tends to benefit advertisers. There's been a lot of discussion about how a TikTok ban or divestiture might actually help some of the other social media platforms, like Meta's platforms, et cetera, here. Do you see growth continuing in that ad space, kind of unfettered?
I mean, we do. I mean, we actually think AI, if anything, is kind of, helped kind of the growth trajectory for the digital ad space out there. You're absolutely right. I mean, Meta is kind of, in many respects, unlike other of the kind of Mag 7 names. They're more of a one-trick pony out there, in that they're really kind of completely tethered to that digital ad space right now. Our view is it'll be able to kind of grow at a low double through 2025, and AI will definitely kind of help them in that respect. We've seen share gain on Meta's side of things here in recent memory because they've been able to act and move so quickly with some of their AI initiatives out there, kind of creating some of those great ad creation tools for some of those advertisers out there that will continue to kind of gain momentum, we think, over the next couple of quarters. That should help their overall business and kind of the growth trajectory for the digital ad space. But, I mean, in all respect, I mean, again, the comps do get a lot more difficult as you get into the second half of this year. Yeah. And, of course, as you get into 2025 and lap these type of numbers that you're seeing right now.
I am curious, though, long term about the user base for Meta. There's been a lot of hay made over, I guess, the age of some of their users now, particularly on Facebook, but even Instagram. And I could just tell you, with the kids in my family, none of them mention any Meta properties. It's all, Snap and Discord and, some of the TikTok and things like that here. Do they have a generation problem that they're going to have to confront at some point?
I do think there's an issue to an extent from that side of things. I mean, I think they've been able to see some improvement with Reels kind of here over the last kind of couple of quarters. And, there are more and more, I think, individuals out there kind of, going towards that Instagram platform on the Gen Z side of things. But I think you make a valid point. I think when you kind of look at some of the more kind of next Gen Z population out there, it is all kind of TikTok, it's Snap out there. But, I think, when we kind of think about, Meta here, they are starting to kind of, find a way here with Reels. I think there are going to be other kind of tools out there that they throw that could potentially kind of help improve that ecosystem. And then we also do have to see what happens with TikTok here over the next year or so that could potentially help their business, improve engagement levels and what have you. So I think you make somewhat of a valid point, but that said, I think they're still in a good place.